It's going to be brutal. It's going to be bloody. He's going to be hitting with kicks and knees and stomps and scratches and bites and headbutts and groin kicks and groin kicks and groin kicks.
Okay, Kyle, we got the point, and well, I certainly hope we get to see that, because since he's made his return, we hasn't. Noody has lost. He made it to the quarterfinals in the KUMITE tournament. He lost to Norman Levine, who was the finalist in the tournament. So no shame in that. A very tough fight. Coming off a fight against Roger Bagullo at KUMITE 32, and I'm not entirely certain what. These are tough fights that he's just coming short on. I think he just needs a bit of confidence, But again, maybe just the animal instinct in him doesn't care about if you've lost. It just focuses on the next fight, the next kill. So maybe this record doesn't really matter to Loren Noody at this point.
Well, I mean, you're not taking into account. You're acting like he's only fighting in KUMITE, and that's not true at all. He's fighting animals in the Brazilian rainforest. I mean, he's fighting half-man, half-animal hybrids in laboratories in Korea. I mean, he's fighting everywhere. The animal is certainly within. We only get to see a portion of it here in KUMITE.
Fair enough. Nonetheless, I think, I guess as from a fighting standpoint, from a combat sports perspective, that would have to be considered training, I guess. And yes, you can do all this in training, in the lab, in the fight lab, if you will, and also the real lab and the jungles. But if you're here in the ring and you're not performing, then there's not going to be much. There's not going to be a lot asked of you at this point. So we need to see a big performance here. Finnegan Wakefield, on the other hand, hungover, proving that he's all right. Hungover. Yeah, he went to a decision in his last two fights. The first one back in April, he made it to the quarterfinals of the KUMITE, lost to Luis Espinosa on decision, but got a decision victory over Arigato Bloof. One that was, I would argue, a bit disputed. I think a lot of people kind of saw that could have gone the other way to Bloof.
I certainly did. I mean, honestly, you ask me, Arigato totally won that
nice
fight.
place to the crown of the head. So maybe Finnegan Wakefield has something to prove in this one as well. He likes to win via submission. 3 of his 6 wins are by submission. But how do you submit? How do you tell a man who's more animal than human at this point to give something up other than just putting him out?
Well, honestly, you're looking at a man who won more animal than human, like you said. You're also looking at a man who will do anything to get the victory. Legal tactics, illegal tactics, super illegal tactics, super legal tactics. It doesn't matter for Loren Noody. He just wants to get the blood and get the blood flowing out of his opponent. And once that blood flows, then the bloodlust kicks in, and then he goes for the kill. I think that's the major factor. Until he can make Finnegan Wakefield bleed, he's at a significant disadvantage.
And you can see he's kind of just mauling. Like, he's not doing a lot of damage with the strikes, but he's just kind of mauling Wakefield just on the ground, keeping him on the back. Which again, if there's any sort of strategy, I'd almost want to get away from this position. Finnegan Wakefield, a submission expert, loves this position. He's looking for that opening. Oh, but he just gets pounded right in the face. That's what we're talking about. That's what Loren Noody needs to do, is unleash that animal instinct. And as you said, Kyle, you mentioned the blood. I don't see any blood yet from those couple of strikes, but perhaps that may have just awoken Loren Noody and made him realize that I can win if I go with that strategy less than 3 minutes ago in the first round.
Oh, and you are neglecting the most important thing that Loren Noody has in his repertoire. If you look at the back of his trunks right now, they're stained a little bit darker than the rest of them. Loren Noody is employing the dreaded feces technique in order to defend against his opponent.
Are you kidding me? Is that a real thing?
Of course it is. It's what many animals do in the wild. They will try and repel their opponent or their predator by using terrible smells.
With his natural scent. So you're saying that...
And there's the blood! There's the blood! Loren's going to maul!
You're telling me that Loren Noody has just pooped his drawers?
I am saying that he...
Oh, some big knees! Well, maybe it's working here, Kyle. It's working. I think the knees to the thing... Oh, big one to the face!
Oh, God!
Jesus!
Jesus Christ!
Stop!
Maul him! Maul him, Loren! Maul him! Yes!
Conde Elantra says no more! Gets in there! Jesus Christ, Kyle!
See, you neglected two things. One, defecating in the drawers, so it would be very, very difficult to try and turn him, try and deal with him, try and get him in positions for a submission. Like, if you take his back, you've got to deal with the fact that you are wriggling in feces. And you'll notice most of the damage came right after the blood was drawn. He needs that blood to flow. Once that blood flows, the animal instinct takes over, and he can just maul you to death. Beautiful, beautiful job by Loren Noody.
What a performance! If we can see that sort of bestiality... Wait, I don't think I'm using that word correctly. Whatever, if we can see that in every fight Loren Noody has, we've got a star-studded... We've got a superstar in the making in this animal, Loren Noody.
He is so dangerous.